Hi, I'm Norma Brecker, the Career Doc from My Career Doc, and today I'm continuing with our series on dealing with the difficult boss. I want to talk to you about the type of boss that stresses you out and makes your life very difficult. Although there are wonderful bosses and managers out there, there are also very many toxic bosses out there, and I'm sure many of you ask yourselves, how did they ever become a boss? Well, Barbara Kellerman at Harvard University identified 7 types of problematic leaders, and they are the incompetent, the rigid, the intemperate, the callous, the corrupt, the insular, and even the evil boss. I don't know which type of boss you have, but what I do know is that they create chaos and stress. There's even research that supports the fact that having a bad boss is akin to having post-traumatic stress disorder. Although the easy answer for you is to leave your boss or to leave your job, that's not always a viable option. In fact, your boss is a major factor in your ability to perform well on the job, and they've even done studies that show it's virtually I don't know about impossible, but very difficult for subordinates to dislodge a boss in the short term. So if you're unable to leave your job or your boss, you have to take control over what you can control. The first thing that you can do and you can control is your ability to read your boss correctly. In a fascinating article in Harvard Business Review in July of 2017, the article, which was titled How to Deal with a Boss Who Stresses You Out, the author suggests that in order to reduce your stress with your boss, you have to get inside their mind. You have to play psychologist, and you have to try to figure out what behavioral patterns your boss exhibits so that you can use those patterns for your advantage. And let me suggest a couple of ways that you can try to get a handle on your boss's difficult behavioral patterns. First, I suggest that you observe and record your boss's moods and behaviors. In other words, create a log with dates and times and even maybe where they were when this occurred, and note down whenever you or others interact with your boss. What are their behaviors? What is the boss responding to? What are their reactions? And you're jotting down what you witnessed. Was the boss excited after you presented an idea? Did the boss tense up when that person walked in late to the meeting? Although your boss's behaviors will fluctuate daily, you're looking for general patterns in their behaviors. After 2 weeks, look at your log. Look for patterns. Maybe you'll see some areas where the boss gets defensive. At the end of the day, what you're looking for are clues that will help you determine your strategy for approaching your boss and understanding him or her better. Another way I would try to get into my boss's head is by using one of the many style inventories that are out there. Many of you have probably taken the Myers-Briggs type indicator, the MBTI, the DISC, or there are many other, like the Insight inventory, that are out there. I'm a big proponent of these inventories because they help you understand yourself better, and you can also use them to help yourself understand the people that you're interacting with. I would, for example, if I took the MBTI and I found out that I am, let's say, an ENFP, and my boss, I find out after going over the questions, is an ISTJ, I would be better able to understand what I'm doing that can set my boss off, or I would be able to understand better the rub between my style and their style. The more different you are from your boss, the more you can inflame a situation and inadvertently create friction between you and your boss. For example, if you're extroverted and excited and you come into a meeting very happy about an idea, and your boss is very calm and quiet and reserved, you might see that your boss, again, inadvertently you're doing this, is pulling away from you, and the boss will start to view you in a negative light, although you view yourself as presenting with enthusiasm and creativity. They view you as a threat and overwhelming. So you need to learn your style and then try to figure out the style of your manager. Thirdly, research has shown that managers have 11, count that, 11 derailers that they can exhibit, and 54% of managers have at least 3, although they can have 11 of these derailers. And these derailers include excitability, skepticism, caution, reserve, leisure, boldness, mischievousness, colorfulness, imaginative, diligent, and dutiful. Think of your boss in terms of these 11 derailers. For example, if your boss is the diligent type, you must be careful not to be careless or lax when you're implementing standards. This type of boss pays attention to quality. They have very high standards and they even go for perfectionism or even micromanagement. If you ignore the type of derailer that your boss has, for example, you're going to create friction between you and your boss, and the worst aspects of your boss's personality may emerge, and these aspects might be applied and shown to you. Research has consistently shown that regardless of the job or industry, managers promote employees who they find pleasant and rewarding to work with. So you got to tame your own derailers, and you have to be aware of your manager's derailers. And finally, the last piece of advice I could offer on this topic right now is that you have to try to make your boss look good whenever you can. When you make your boss look good, it reflects well on what you do, and it makes you an invaluable resource to them. Ben Datner, in his book Credit and Blame at Work, states that many managers succeed in their careers not because of their leadership talent, but due to their ability to take credit for others' achievements and blame others for their own mistakes. You need to be a valuable resource to your boss. So to summarize, you want to understand your boss so that you can evoke as many positive interactions between you and your boss as possible. At the early stages of your career, your success is mainly a function of managing the dark side of your boss. And at the later stages, your success will greatly depend on managing your own dark side. Be aware of your triggers, your style, and your behaviors, and understand how they mesh or don't mesh with your boss. When you do this, you have the best chance of managing a difficult boss. And don't lose hope. Remember that most people have at least 10 managers in the course of their career. So even if you have a difficult boss now, this is not predictive of the type of boss you'll have in the future or at other times in your career. If you would like some more specific advice on how to manage your difficult boss, please feel free to reach out to me at norma@mycareerdoc.com, and you also can check out my website, mycareerdoc.com, or find me on Facebook. Bye to next time.